What's up, man? So my name is Luke, and if you don't know anything about me, I've lost 110 pounds in the past year and a half or so, and I am on the way to getting absolutely shredded right now. I'm not there yet. I still got a little bit of fat under my loose skin, and I want to get shredded just to prove it to myself that I can. This is not the point. The point is how you can guarantee fat loss. I'm going to teach you everything about that through the lens of college football and how I learned how to actually guarantee results. And it's pretty counterintuitive, so you're going to have to stick with me here. So it all starts with a story. When I was playing college football, I was living just for the Saturdays. I was living just for game days. I loved playing. I loved playing football games. But there came a point where I was living the entire year just for 11 Saturdays. And if we lost, subtract that from the total. And I couldn't live like that anymore. So I had to change my goals. I changed my goals from being the best college football player that I could be to being the best version of Luke that I could be. So that meant losing weight. And I was genuinely moved by one of my coaches because I went into his office and spoke to him and genuinely cried my eyes out to him because I was feeling so guilty about my decision that knew I had to make to quit college football. I I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. I couldn't do it. And I cried for 2 hours and poured out everything. I'm talking everything. And the man who taught me this lesson that I'm about to teach you in a little bit, he said along the lines of, above all else, you have to be happy, even if that means quitting my football team. And wow, I think that's what made me want to be a coach because I was genuinely never so moved in my life by somebody that wanted me to succeed more than they wanted themselves to succeed. And that's not really the point of the video. The point of the video is what his true lesson is. His one true message is you have to focus on the give, not the get. Because if all you ever focus on is the get, if all I ever focused on was just looking good in the mirror, then I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Because there's still some days I look in the mirror and I don't feel right. There it is. I look at my loose skin. I don't like it. I look at the little, fat in my lower love handle areas that's just a little bit left, and I don't like it because I want it all to be gone. But if all I ever focused on was how I looked in the mirror or what the scale said, I would never be happy because I'll never get to where I want to be. I'm very competitive. I'm always setting more goals for myself and setting higher and higher goals to where I never really reach a goal. So if I only ever delay my happiness and put all the emphasis on reaching the goal, then I'll never reach it. And that's the get. But focusing on the give truly does, well, for lack of better words, get you the get. When you focus on the process, and when I focused on the inputs of tracking my macros, of eating mostly whole foods, making healthy diet swaps, and the big one for me was earning my cheat meals so I could actually stay consistent. That was the big one for me. When I focused on the work and I tied my self-worth to the work, my results absolutely skyrocketed. Seriously. Because there was a period of time when I cut out all of the desserts and all of the tasty shit you see me put on my Instagram story. And I was extremely locked in, and that worked great, man. It did. It did. Until I had cheesecake. You've probably heard me tell this story before, but it's my favorite story to tell. It was my birthday, my 21st birthday. I was about 4 months into dieting, and my mom had gotten me a cheesecake for my birthday. It's a super dense New York style cheesecake with the melted strawberries on top, like the mushy strawberries with the strawberry drizzle, whatever you want to call it. So delicious. She got me that, and it was the first sweet or cheat meal I'd had in months. Like literally since the day I quit football, I hadn't had a cheat meal in like 3 or 4 months. And I got a bite, and I don't know how I did it, but I resisted binging that night. But every day after that, all I could think about was that cheesecake. Nothing tasted as good anymore. Nothing tasted as good. And I know this is dramatic, but it was like all I could think about was just, man, I've been missing out on life and I can't live like this anymore. So I had to find a way to actually earn the cheat meal, right? So what I focused on was doing the work to earn the cheat meal rather than getting the cheat meal. Because if all I ever focused on was getting the cheat meal, it would lead me to be fat again because getting a cheat meal is like playing in a championship. You can either get a participation trophy by just showing up and get fat and eat the cheat meal, or you can put in the work. And some days you might fail. You might not earn the cheat meal. But on the days that you do earn the cheat meal, it means more. And on the days that you earn the reward, you earn the cheat meal, you're not going to go and grab another participation trophy. That's why I haven't binged in, gosh, who knows how long at this point? Months, months and months and months, half a year at least. But if all you ever focus on is the reward, all you're gonna do is you're sabotaging yourself. Because think about this: if all you ever focus on is the reward at the end of, you know, at the end of the brick road, all you ever focus on is getting the abs. All you ever focus on is feeling confident walking into a room. Like I focused on it the first, because I wanted to lose weight, but above all else, I really wanted to just feel good about myself. If that's all you ever focus on, you'll never get there, because you'll forget the work that it takes to get there. It's like this is a really, really important thing that I learned too late. Even after I quit football, I learned this about football. When we would have football practices, we would have a really good practice one day, right? And then the next day, we'd have a really shitty practice. Why? Because we forgot what it took to actually get the reward of having a fantastic practice in the first place. We tried to just coast on the momentum. But if all we ever focused on was doing the inputs to have an amazing practice, we would have been national champions. Seriously, that's the difference of focusing on the give, focusing on putting in the work, focusing on the inputs and the efforts that it takes. That is what's going to guarantee your results. If all you ever focus on is tracking your macros and earning your cheat meals and going for your 30 minutes of movement first thing in the morning and getting out of bed within 5 minutes, the 5 minute rule, focus on all of the systems that I lay out, it guarantees success. I absolutely promise you. I can say that with such conviction because I truly believe, I know, I don't just believe, I know that that guarantees results because it guaranteed results for me. And even on the days that I wanted to quit, like I genuinely would have rather been fat and unconfident and hated myself for trying again and giving up. On the days that I wanted to do that, I told myself I just have to focus on the inputs today. It doesn't matter if I get the reward ever. I just have to focus on the inputs today. I have to track my macros. I have to earn my cheat meal. And if I don't, well, I don't eat it. And I have to eat mostly whole foods. And I have to go to the gym and work out hard as hell for 45 minutes. If I can do all of those today, I can feel good about myself. And that broke me out of every single rut. And that's what I have to do right now with my business is focus on the work. Because all I'm thinking about is the reward of helping as many people as possible. And it's a current struggle of mine of I want to help and I want to be like, I never name dropped him, but Coach Bain was the one who moved me that much in the beginning of my story that actually made me want to coach. If all I ever focus on is giving that to other people of I want to be the guy to genuinely change somebody's life like that. If that's all I ever focus on, I'll never do it. I'll never do it because that's me thinking about the reward that I get from it. That's me thinking about how good I would feel changing somebody's life. And yes, that's noble, but if all I ever focused on was putting out helpful videos, was putting out, engaging reels so you guys stop brain riding and actually stop scrolling and watch my value, if all I ever focused on was posting 15 to 20 stories a day, god damn, it would help so much people so much more than me focusing on just, well, I really hope one day that I can help somebody like Coach Bain help me. And I'll circle back one more time just to nail this point in. It's the exact same thing with losing weight. It's how you can guarantee success with losing weight. At first, I focused on the mirror. I would walk down and I'd look in the mirror. Nothing changes because you're never going to notice things changing in the mirror unless you take progress pictures. That's why I have all my clients take day one progress pictures and then weekly progress pictures because it's really cool to look back on. If all you ever focus on is the daily reward, you're never going to get the long-term reward. Because how many days are you going to walk? For me, I walked downstairs in my little shitty 3-bedroom apartment with my 2 college football roommates. And how many times did I walk down there and look in the mirror and say, wow, I actually look skinnier than yesterday? Literally never. And I lost 110 pounds. Literally never once happened that I walked down there and was like, wow, yesterday work really paid off with the reward I got today. Never, never. So I learned I had to focus on the process. And I learned to actually apply what Coach Bain had taught me about giving more than you get. Because giving to other people, apply this to every other part of your life, I promise you, like I'm trying to do for my life, it will slingshot you to success. And it's a work in progress. You can apply it in one area and struggle to apply it in another. I applied it amazingly after a year of fat loss, but I can barely apply it with my business. But if I can learn to do that, I will help as many people as they want to be helped. And if you can apply that to your fat loss journey, you will lose as much fat as you want to lose. Because if the give, man, that drives results, not the get. You see people who focus only on money, who only focus on women. I mean, how many people do you know that talk about women all of the time? All the time. I know a couple. And how many times did you ever see them with a girl? Right? Never. But the guys who focus on just shit, for example, going to the gym, bettering themselves. You could even put this as something simple like this, like going on Tinder and swiping. That's the process. On giving their energy to Tinder and swiping. Those are the guys that get the results. Those are the guys that get the women. It's the same thing with fat loss. The guys who go on their macro tracking app and they track their macros every single day and they don't care if they see results today. Those are the guys that get the results. But it's not the guys that go on their macro tracking app and think, wow, me tracking this ground beef and rice bowl for the third time today is wow. I can't wait to see my ads tomorrow. It's not like that. It's all about the process. It's all about giving. And it's all about changing your goals to align with what you actually want. Because when I changed my goals from being the best college football player I could have been to being the best version of Luke, everything changed. Not just because I wasn't playing football, but because I was using my goals as an excuse to be unhealthy. I was using college football as an excuse for me to binge eat. I would get home from practice and I'd say, oh, well, I need to put on weight today. And I would binge eat. Thing is, one of my best friends, who I also lived with, he started at 275 and he played a lot better football than I did. And I played at 320. So looking back on it, no, I did not need to be fat. I was using football as an excuse. But when I changed my goals, I aligned everything with it. I eliminated the excuse by changing my goals. And for some, maybe that's you change your goals from I want to lose weight to I want to, you have to get very outcome based goals. I want to lose 20 pounds in 3 months and add 20 pounds to my bench. Boom. Now you can actually align your daily process with that. You can align your give with the get. This is how it all ties in. You have to align your get with the give with the get, and focus on the give. When I aligned all of my give and all of my processes on losing, initially it was 50 pounds in however long it took. I wanted to lose 50 pounds more than I wanted to do anything. And honestly, I should have set a better goal for myself, but it worked. When I aligned everything I did with giving towards that goal, I ended up losing 60 pounds or 50 pounds faster than I thought I could. And people around me asked me, well, what's next? I said, well, I don't know because I didn't think this far ahead. I never thought I'd get there because all I was focused on was doing the work, not getting the result. And that's how you guarantee fat loss. And if you really, this is kind of funny. This is a good tie in. If you really want help guaranteeing your fat loss, then just shoot me a message on Instagram. And if we're a good fit, I will do my very best to help you like Coach Bain helped me change my life. Because I never would have been here today, 110 pounds down, happy as hell after the gym, high on life, after a long day at work, to be honest. I never would have been here without him helping me and him guiding me. And I don't speak to him I don't ever speak to him, to be honest. He'll probably never see this video. but he changed my life, along with a lot of the other coaches I had. And if you want that same experience, I would do my very goddamn best to do that for you. So shoot me a message on Instagram. It's the first link in the description. Right under that is my Calendly booking link. If you just want to hop on a call with me, let's rip it.